Today we're doing a community building circle that's really focused on getting to know one another more and getting connected. So thank you all for being here.
Hi, welcome everyone. I'd like to invite you into this special and intentional space. And so since we're all very far apart from one another, I'd like to add a little element to bring us into focus. I'm going to light a candle. And I'm going to keep this candle lit here for us so that we can be connected around the flame, be in a space of authenticity and human-to-human connection and equity. I'm looking forward to having the opportunity for us to speak authentically to one another, to hear one another, and to learn from one another today.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to share our centerpiece that we have here today. And in the spirit of focusing on hope, and that's one of the main goals of our circle here today, is looking at the places in our lives that we are hopeful. You can see the center is a beautiful little flower coming out of the concrete. And I wanted to just take a moment before we get into setting the space together to take a couple of breaths and become as present as we can in this space. So if you can just take a couple moments of silence and take 3 deep breaths in, focusing on your breath the whole time. And come back when you're ready. You'll see a part of our centerpiece is some of the main circle agreements that we have. And so I'll share some of those now. Being present. So, just taking a couple moments to become present, and then try as we share with one another and go around the circle to be as present with one another as we can. We also have respect the talking piece, so we'll be introducing talking pieces to one another, and that's an opportunity to really be fully and actively listening to the person who's holding the talking piece, and making sure that whoever has that talking piece has the floor. And then confidentiality. So it's that idea of we're going to hear stories and share personal things with one another. Definitely take the learning from the space and keep the details of the stories that you hear here. And then speak and listen from the heart. So another reminder just to be fully here with one another, and even try and connect with the stories that you hear. Maybe there's pieces of other people's lives that you also connect with. I'm wondering if there's anything else that you feel would be really helpful as a group agreement to help create community and a safe space here together.
Justine, I'd like to volunteer welcoming imperfection while we learn. I believe everything's a learning opportunity, and I want to invite people to be imperfect while they grow. We want us to grow together.
Nice. Okay. So welcoming imperfection. Beautiful.
And if I could add hold space for ourselves and for others.
Holding space for self and others.
Yes.
Share
Thank
a little bit more about that.
I think for me, it comes from a place of many times we can be the hardest on ourselves. And I think in this space, it would be important to hold ourselves, to be authentic, to open up, to be present, but then to also recognize that others are coming into this space and may be tough on themselves, and to hold a space for them to be able to share and let their guard down and be present as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Eddie. Okay. Do these agreements seem like all ones that we can support in this space together? Got some thumbs up? All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for just contributing and supporting this process. We're going to also add on some personal values that we hold too.
Great. So we have our visual centerpiece, and if we were in person, we would have a beautiful centerpiece in our circle in the middle of us. And so we're going to create a virtual centerpiece, add to the virtual centerpiece by thinking of a value or a strength that we're leading with today, something that you're bringing into this community space. And let's change our name so that you have your first name and then a hyphen and that value or strength. And just as a reminder, the way you'll change names, you'll click on the three little dots in your video tile, and you'll see an option to rename, and you can just add it in there. Lovely. So let's do just a really quick round, and I'm going to share just a framing for this round. And while we're sharing, we're going to be setting our share order for the rest of the circle. So the sentence frame here is, hi, my name is, and I chose your value or your strength because, and we'll make this sort of a short share, and we're going to do it by invitation. So I'll role model, and then I'm going to invite the next person to share. And just as we would if we were in person, when you receive that invitation, just say thank you to the person who invited you. So, hi, my name is Ashley, and I chose compassion because I feel, much like Eddie's offer of an agreement to hold space for self and others, I feel right now I need compassion for myself. And I feel that there are so many people in my world that I know and that I don't know who really need that. So that's why I chose compassion. And I would like to invite you to share next.
Thank you, Ashley. Everyone, my name is Eddie, and I chose knowledge as my value because I believe in a space like this that people have incredible experiences and knowledge to share, and want to learn and absorb as much as I can to understand myself, but to understand others and how I can show up and be present for them. Thank you. I would like to pass it to Justine.
Thank you, Eddie. I'm Justine, and I chose empathy because I just want to bring that energy of connection and trying to understand what it might feel like to be in another person's shoes into this space and grow in that way. Thank you. And I would like to pass it to Amisha.
Thank you, Justine. My name is Amisha. I chose authenticity because yesterday I saw a cartoon and it was a man or with the words "who I am," and they were lifting a boulder up a mountain, and the boulder on top of them was "who I think I should be." And it was this huge aha moment, and I realized it hit me hard. I resonated. And I thought about if I could just let go of that boulder and be brave, be authentically me, how much weight would be lifted off my shoulders. So this is my form of self-love today. And I will invite Pedro.
Thank you, Amisha. My name is Pedro, and I chose kindness because I feel if I can be kind to others, I can suspend all judgment and create conditions where everyone else around me feels authentic and feels as though they can share authentically. And I can just be a source of support, and in doing so, be capable of listening to anything and taking in any information with a loving heart. So I'd like to invite Vanessa.
Hi. Thank you, Pedro. My name is Vanessa, and I chose openness because I think it's super important for me to be open-minded as I'm going through the circle, as I'm going through my life, being open to differences, being open to imperfections, as that's one of our values, and being open to change and growth.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for bringing these incredible values and strengths into the space today. I'm really excited to continue our circle with you.
So before we get started with our circle rounds, we want to just do a quick check-in in pairs. And it's an opportunity to empty our cup, to become even more present to this space. And what we're going to do is we're each going to answer 2 short prompts, which are, what is something that's concerning you right now that might be preoccupying you as you're coming into this space? And the second piece is also, what is something that you're feeling really grateful for at this moment? So each person in the pair will have 2 minutes to share, and the breakout will be 4 minutes in all, and then we'll come back to the large group together. Any questions before we get started? Okay, we'll see you soon then. Hi.
Hello.
Do you feel like you want to go first?
I would love to. So thank you.
Okay.
I would say that what's concerning me right now is how I'm showing up for those people that are closest to me, and with everything going on this year, am I holding space for them? That was another piece as to why I said that earlier. Am I holding space for them to feel as if they are safe and protected, or whatever they may need? So that's something that's concerning me, is how I'm showing up for other people. Something that I am grateful for is the amazing people that I have in my life, and the opportunities that I'm presented with. So I feel very fortunate and appreciative and humbled by those amazing people. Thank you. What about for you?
Nice. Yeah, I think my biggest concern at the moment is my father-in-law, who we just found out has some health issues just last night. And so just trying to figure out how to support him, but also just this sense of how precious life is, and that it could be gone at any moment. So that's definitely preoccupying. And in the same light, kind of like you, I'm just very grateful for the relationships in my life, and for health, and for all the opportunities that I have to have family around. Both my husband and I, we both have our whole families locally. So it's just a lot of connection and family time, and it feels good to have that. So I'm grateful.
A wonderful time for you. I know it was very quick, but it's so nice to be able to just release those concerns and share some gratitude so that we become even more present with ourselves and with our community here today. So we're going to do a check-in round, and we have our share order set. It's in the chat. We might decide to change up the share order or start with a different person, but that share order is there. And I'm actually going to go ahead and move our tiles. Not everybody will necessarily be able to see this, but I'm going to give it a try. Give a thumbs up if the tile order just changed. So it should be Ashley, Eddie, Justine, Amisha, Pedro, Vanessa, right? So that's our share order. And we're going to start off with something kind of fun here. Think of a song or a genre of music that represents how you feel right now. And the pressure is on me because I'm not great with song titles, but this morning it just so happens that I was listening to this YouTube channel that has a lot of like study music, binaural beats they call it, right? And so I have a lot of like cello in my head and some harp and just no lyrics, but just this ambient music that keeps me really centered and calm. And that's how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling really centered and calm, like this ambient music. So I'll pass it over to Eddie.
If you all are familiar with John, I'm a huge John Legend fan. And the song that actually comes up for me is Slow Cooker. It's off of his newest album, and having grown up is using a slow cooker. Just that simmer of something taking time and a little bit of effort to start with, but then once it's done, it's absolutely delicious. And I feel as if, for me, the different things that have been going on this year and I've been working on and interactions with people, I'm looking forward to the beauty and deliciousness and the awesomeness that is going to come. So Slow Cooker is my song. It's a love song, and I have love for people. So that's my song.
Okay, that's awesome. I think in alignment with that, my song is very different, but the focus is love, and it's called Skidamarinka Dinka Dink. Anyone know it? It's a toddler child song, and it's one of my daughter's favorite right now, and she just learned how to sing the whole thing, so we're singing it a lot and having like I love you fests with one another, like who loves each other more, and it's inspired by that song, so it's constantly in my head right now, and I kind of love it. Amisha?
That's awesome. I love all these songs. It makes me want to go listen to so my song is Brown Skin Girl by Beyonce. And the story behind it is that when the album first came out, I love this song. And I love that she's so inclusive. She included Indian women. She included all these different shades of brown. And I loved it. I felt like this is a season of representation matters for me, right? And so I excitedly showed it to my boys. And my boys look up at me. They now start randomly singing this song, like just while they're playing with Legos, but they changed it and they sing Brown Skin Girl and Boys. And so that's what they do now. And I love it. And it's just, it makes me happy and it makes them happy. And so, yeah, season of happiness.
Thank you, Amisha. I am a huge fan of Leslie Odom Jr. He was Aaron Burr in Hamilton. I just think he's so incredible. And he has a new Christmas album. And I've just been listening to that nonstop. I just love this guy. And yeah, that's what I've been decorating for Christmas, playing his my family bought me a portable speaker. So I was putting Christmas lights up and listening to his album the entire time. And I just absolutely love it and recommend his music. So Vanessa.
Thank you. Now that Pedro brings that up, I've been listening. Well, I haven't been listening, but when I study with my friends, they put on Ariana Grande, but they've been putting her Christmas music on repeat. So it's like the same 5 Ariana Grande songs in repeat while we're studying for hours. And it's really good. Like Ariana Grande has good vocals. It's really upbeat and soothing. It's like good to study and focus, but it also puts me in a mood.
Thank you. That's really fun to hear all of the music. I was actually taking notes on, oh, I want to check out the Leslie Odom Christmas album. It's fun. Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like everyone's in a pretty positive mood this morning with the songs that you've chosen. It was fun to sing along in my head as well. So the first and main round of this circle is to share a talking piece that inspires hope in you. So we'll go with the same share order, and when it's your turn, just show your piece, and then after it's your turn, then you can pass your talking piece to the next person, and they can use their talking piece. So we'll actually be using the talking piece during this round.
Okay, now I'm realizing my folly in going first the first time. No. So this is my talking piece. It is a giant pencil, as you can see. It is not a real pencil. It's a pencil that I made in my freshman year. I entered university as a journalism major and got into theater and changed my major pretty quickly. And this was the first thing I did in theater, was I made this prop for an Alice in Wonderland production, which is great because I love Alice in Wonderland. And the reason why this inspires hope in me is because when I entered university, I was really struggling. I had really intense conflict with my parents on the extreme, and was kind of striking out in the world on my own. I also entered university loaded with assumptions and prejudices that, had I kept them, would have harmed me my entire life and harmed other people. But what happened was, when I entered theater, I met a tribe of people who were really authentic and really awesome and really open. I was able to have wonderful, transparent, open conversations with them where they challenged assumptions, they challenged my prejudices, they showed me a different way of being in the world, and they showed me so much love and acceptance that I realized that I didn't have to live in this conflict, scary place anymore. So I keep this piece is about 30 years old now, and I keep it on my shelf by my desk to remind me that change is always possible, that you can find your tribe and give. And so I'll pass it over. I'm going to pass this over to Eddie. Grab Eddie. There we go. Perfect.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing. My share is actually my necklace. I'll move a little bit closer. So the story behind the necklace and the charm is, it was a gift to my mother and from my mother. Kind of coming up in school, I had a lot of self-doubt, and I was trying out for football team, and 30 is my number. It was originally 32, which was my cousin's number. She got me into playing sports, and I wanted to kind of follow her footsteps, and 30 became my number because it was like the last number that no one picked one year when I was playing out. So that became my number. And my mom got the charm for me because she wanted to remind me that whatever I decided to pursue, that even when I didn't believe in myself, that she believed in what I'm capable of and who I would become as a person. I've only taken this necklace off twice in almost the 30 plus years that I've had it. And the reason why I continue to wear it is because it's a constant reminder to me to believe in other people when they may not have belief in themselves. It's a grounding piece for me, and it's something that I truly value. So I will pass this to Jessica.
Thank you, Eddie. So I chose a broken geode that my little cousin gave me, and it sits on my desk all the time. And it's interesting because, one piece of this is, right, like the outside isn't that beautiful. And so you can't tell that there's a beautiful like geode inside. And then we cracked it open together to see what was inside. And she took some pieces and I took some pieces of it. And it's really beautiful. Then it turns out after we did that, we had a little bit of a falling out. And it was like a year that we didn't talk. And so I think our relationship kind of looked like this broken thing for a while. And just recently we started getting back in touch, and, I'm starting to see like the fruit of that brokenness that happened, and we're mending it in a different way. Our relationship probably won't ever look the same, but I'm hoping that it's even deeper and even more amazing when it's all said and done. So it's just amazing that I have this beautiful little crystal geode to represent our relationship, and one that is in process. And I am very hopeful. Amisha.
Okay. This is my talking piece. Yeah. Yeah. So I mentioned that I'm the mother of 3 children, and this belongs to my oldest. So the story behind this one is, when I found out that I was pregnant, I went out and bought this, and I put it inside of a bag. My husband is very used to me doing his shopping for him. So I told him that I got him a little something, and he was expecting a t-shirt or something. And when he opened the bag, this popped out with a sticky note letting him know that we were about to become parents. And the reason that this means so much to me is, 1, that story, but 2, this is the first memory that I have of us becoming a family that was instead of 2. What you don't know is that this happened smack dab in the middle of dental school. So I was a student, and so we were pregnant, and there was a lot of unknowns, right? I was worried about finishing school. This was unprecedented. Like, dental students did not get, the women did not get pregnant and give birth in the middle of dental school. And I just remember feeling such powerful assurance in my own heart about knowing that this was a path, and knowing that I could do both things. And just it was the first time in my life that I remember, instead of being surrounded by fear or doubt that was coming from within, I was able to draw from a reservoir of just beauty and peace, and knowing that no matter what anyone else said, this was my island, and we were going to celebrate on my island, and I was going to be able to do it all. And so this, whenever I look at it, reminds me that in the middle of your season, when your season changes, trust the universe, because often what you think is upheaval and craziness is a gift. And the gift that came after this came out of the bag has been one of the greatest gifts of my life. So very, very thankful for all of that. So Pedro, I'm going to hand you my talking piece.
Thank you, Misha. I need the strength. My talking piece. I am a marathoner. So this is my marathon medal, but I'm actually going to share about this one. This is the Carlsbad Half Marathon. So when I'm getting so emotional already. I broke my leg 3 years ago. I was in a car accident and I had a head injury. I had just started the PhD program, and just recovering and regaining strength and regaining cognitive ability was challenging. But I've been a runner my entire life. And I got ejected out of a car, and I had just left the gym before the accident happened. And I have to believe that the fact that I was in shape allowed me to withstand getting ejected and surviving. So, this talking piece inspires hope, because I'll never forget the first time I started running on a treadmill again in physical therapy, when my brain stopped fighting me and allowed me to actually start moving again. And because there's this weird thing that happens when you have an injury, is it protects you, and things that you know how to do, it won't allow you, your brain won't allow you to do it because it's not safe. And the one special moment where we cranked up the treadmill up to like 4.5 miles an hour and I was able to run again. And it was just so powerful. And so the following year after the accident, I ran the Carlsbad Half Marathon, and 2 of my friends from USD ran it with me. And it was just so kind of them to do that for me. So metaphorically, it just means that there are some things in life that are a constant, that are always going to be there for you. And running, for whatever reason, is that for me. So Vanessa, please put this on.
Thank you so much, Pedro. Talking piece is a minion. When I was in high school, I had a potluck with my friends and everyone brought something. So I brought drinks in a minion jug because that's all I had at home. And my friends really loved it. In some ways they made fun of it, but they also really loved it and they've attributed minions to me ever since. And so even though we all separated our ways after high school, and I haven't seen a lot of them in a long time because of the pandemic, I was hoping to see them in the summer, but it didn't happen. Whenever they see things that are Minion related, they'll send it to me, like a picture of a car with a decked out with Minions, random things at the store that are related to Minions. They'll say they should get it for me. And so this is actually just for myself. It was like a little prize from my residential supervisor. And when I saw it in the bucket of prizes, I said, I'm getting that minion because it reminds me of my friends and it gives me hope to remember that it's like one small memory, just thing that happened when I was in high school, but it's going to stick with me. It reminds me of like my friend, and it's something that my friends also remember me as. So that's my talking piece.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, everyone, for sharing just so deeply and authentically. It was really powerful, and I feel like I learned a lot, and we had some opportunities for deeper connection. And we have just one final kind of smaller round to think about, now that we've shared our talking pieces and our stories of hope, how is this experience leaving us feeling at this time? So just tap into how you're feeling at this moment, and we'll do a 1-word checkout.
One word is very difficult, right? Touched.
Connected.
Community.
Centered.
Safe.
Inspired.
Thank you so much, everyone. This is, I know all of you, and I feel like I know you so much better now. And I really appreciate this time with you. And we started our circle by lighting a candle. And so we're going to close our circle by blowing out this candle, and you're all going to help me. Why not? Play along. So on the count of 3, we're all going to blow out the candle. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. This is a really wonderful experience, and I want to thank you all so much for being here.